Hey, what's up there, Chloe? Well, welcome back. Hey, the sun kind of come out for a while. I don't know if it's going to hold up, but I tell you what I'm going to do here. I really think these old machines are works of art, like some of you do. I'm glad some of you do too. And I got set up here, and I'm going to take a black and white photo of an old man working on an old lathe. And I'm going to make it look like it was taken. This is an old film camera, technical camera. So I can make it look like, I get all the bottles out of the way, junk like that. See, I can take a few photos and make it look like it was in the 1950s even. I know I'm crazy. Well, come on in. I'm still working on this. I think this is looking pretty good. I'll probably go over it again with that with the brush and the stuff. Oh my, it's never ending, but I do enjoy this, and I'm glad many of you do too. I think it's fun. Oh, let me get you down here where you can see. Well, I got that cross feed dial. Let me see if I can get you a little bit closer. I think I can. This thing's kind of got a boom. And kind of look over my shoulder more. Works pretty good, I think. Except for... Uh-oh. Oh, I got a malfunction. Okay, we'll live with the malfunction. I won't stop the video. Okay, let's take this thing apart, this cross-feed dial. I'll show you something really neat about Axelson real quick here. All the screws in it are these top quality Allen screws, and they've got just a slight crown, and they're knurled. They're just incredible, and all of them in the machine are like that, so I got to be careful not to lose any of those. Okay, I already busted this nut loose here, so make sure, yeah, we're good. A little bit over maybe. And I got this one off. I'm kind of curious what's in here. Oh, get that off. That looks good. Okay, what's next? Uh-oh. Oh, here's the dial. Now that should work on a sleeve. Let's look at that dial. Yeah. It's it looks like it's 400 thousandths per revolution. And this is not plated, it's just plain steel. I'm gonna have to clean this up. It's got a few nicks in it, and I'll do everything I can to make that look good. I hope you can see how that is. Here's the sleeve here, and let's see if yeah, it turns, so we'll get that apart later. We'll set that right there. Now the rest of this, here's the thrust bearings. And I suspect there's needle bearings in there, but I don't know. Okay, here's the top brace for the thrust bearing. Huh. Whoa, it's got two, I'm glad I caught that. It's got two ball thrust bearings. Yeah, there's a race stuck down in there. Okay, so it's got that a ball thrust bearing here and a ball thrust bearing there, and you use the two nuts to take up the play, and there's no play. It's really quite nice and quite simple. So I'll get this all cleaned up here. That's kind of cool. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of things I think you might find interesting. I think. Okay. Well, I'm going to clean these things up too. This is the carriage stop, and it's kind of battered a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. And this is the taper attachment bracket. Well, I'm not really good at painting machines, but you know, machines, the older machines weren't painted all that great anyway. So one of the things I was going to show you, you might find interesting, and it's something that's not really noticeable, but it kind of is. And that is like on this old machine here, like these, let me grab that again. Like these Allen screws like this, you know. This machine here, I'm going to set that back down, I don't lose it. The only Allen screws it has is right here. Okay, that's the only ones on the machine. It's kind of odd. And while I'm here, and I don't forget, a fellow was asking me about these pin locks. You know, they use these here on the gearbox on lathes, and he's missing one. And I don't know if somebody makes these. The Axelson has 6 of these on there. See, it locks into that. But it's got them over here too, and here, and here. Like I say, the Axelson has 6 of them. Well, okay, now back on this. I painted this thing with tractor paint, and I did it with brushes. And it looks okay, you know. I think it looks pretty sharp, especially if you wipe it down with kerosene. But one of the things I picked up somewhere is if you don't paint the screws, you know, some of these could be cleaned up a little better. But none of the screws on this old Brown Sharp milling machine I have paint on. Every single one of them, maybe there's a couple somewhere, but none of them are painted, none of them. And it makes the machine kind of stand out, you know, especially when you got kind of an old junky machine like I do. You know, little things like that stand out. And there's another benefit to it. When something breaks, you can get into it a lot easier. See, none of these screws are painted. And I'll tell you another thing about Brown & Sharp milling machines. They made their own screws. Every single one of these, other than those Allen head screws, are slotted screws that they made on their Brown & Sharp screw machines. Every single one of them. I thought you might find that kind of a little bit of trivia interesting. But see, I took the paint off all of the screws, bolts, everything. And I think it really stands out. You know, see all that around there? You always see that stuff painted. And it's not something you notice, but I'm telling you, it's noticeable. So if you can't paint real good like me, you can do a few little things to look pretty sharp, like Will the Blade. You know, get your machines looking good. Right. Okay, I thought you might enjoy some of that. Now, I've got all these little things to do, and I'm going to just go ahead and show them. And use the machines in the shop here. And as I do it, you know, it's not like it's really hard for me to plan videos. In fact, I can't plan them at all. I can't seem to take notes and follow them or anything like that. But I try to put across these tips that I picked up from other people. I hardly invented anything myself, and I try to teach them to you like they were taught to me, so to speak, you know, to where I was able to understand. And if I'm able to understand it, anybody can understand it. See, you know, no paint on that stuff, see? These two machines here were painted by John Lewandowski Jr. years and years ago at George Washington Machine Tool, and I really like those two guys. And I've kind of hesitated about repainting this blue, and I did add the black base to go and a stripe or two, but I don't know. Blue machines are kind of tough, but these things are okay. I don't know if the problem with just painting a machine, I don't know if you look close, you'll see that, the chips and stuff like that. I don't like that kind of a paint job. But the old Axelson out there, and this machine here, the castings are so rough on this thing. I'm not kidding you. I got all the paint off of it, then I had to put a couple quarts of Bondo in it, and it's still pretty rough. So, I don't know. You should have seen it before, kind of thing. And that's another thing is I'm actually kind of getting the hang of editing, and I'll be able to insert some still photos of some of the stuff that I've done because I recorded